Hello everyone. Today I continue my series on the implementation of k-anonymity using the Mondrian algorithm, and today we cover multidimensional databases and multidimensional tables, meaning we have more than one quasi-identifier. You will see that the implementation itself is not that much different. We just have to account for a couple of things. So first of all, this is our data. So we have three quasi-identifiers, age, zip, and gender. Now note that the gender, usually you would have male, female, but I will stick to numerical attributes for now because it's a bit easier to handle only numerical attributes, and I will cover categorical attributes, meaning text, in a future video. But for now you can see we have a diverse set of zip codes, ages, and genders, like 1 and 2. Well, gender is only binary. So we have, this is our database, and these are the quasi-identifiers which we want to generalize. Now I will start from scratch, so there's no need to watch my previous video on implementing the Mondrian algorithm, but you can of course watch it if you want to have like a bit of a different approach to this, because I kind of cleaned up some stuff in this implementation. All right, let's start. So we're gonna, of course, import pandas, and we're going to read our data. CSV, I'm in the same folder, so this works, and I also have like a global value for k. Obviously you can do all this via parameters in the command line, but I'm going to hard code as much as I can without losing too much generality, because it's just a bit easier to demonstrate. Also, again, I hard code my quasi-identifiers. Again, this is something you can do via an interface in a notebook, so for example, to make it a bit more like practical, let's say. All right, now we start with the actual anonymization. So the first function I'm defining is a function called Mondrian, which I will pass my partitions to. So before I go into this, I'll just basically call it. So I call Mondrian with my data, and that's it, and I'll store it in a variable called result. Right, k is global, so I don't need to pass it. And this is my function. So this is the initial function, which is called upon entering the program. So I'll define a couple of couple of variables. Actually, I think I only define one, the ranks. We'll see what this is all about in a minute. And then I iterate through my quasi-identifiers, because the first thing I want to do when I'm dealing with multidimensional data is I want to find out the quasi-identifier with the biggest variety. It's like which quasi-identifier has the most unique values, and this is the quasi-identifier I use to perform k-anonymity on. The rest of the quasi-identifiers, they are just generalized in a later step, but they are not used to split the database. So my goal here now is to find out which quasi-identifier has the most unique values, and this is what I call ranks. So I iterate through all the quasi-identifiers, and I just store the number of unique values, and this is how I do it. I say, okay, for the QI, for the respective QI, I store len set partition QI. So set removes all the duplicates, and len is now just like the length of the array, you know, of the field, of the list. So without the duplicates, meaning the number of unique values. And then I sort these according to the unique values. We can already, before I sort them, we can look at how they look. We're gonna start Python Mondrian YouTube.py. Rank is not defined. Well, this is no surprise since I call it ranks. Okay, there you go. So this is how the unique values. So we have 24 different ages, we have 36 different zip codes, and 2 genders. So we want to sort this by the number of unique values. So the way we do this, by, let's say, sort ranks. So we have ranks equals sorted ranks items, key equals lambda. These are the lambda functions in Python. These are like functions you only use once. So this would sort it ascending. So you would start with 2, then h, and then zip. But we want to have it descending, so we have reverse equals true, and this sorts it according to the actual value and not the key. So otherwise you would sort it, basically it would sort it alphabetically, probably like h, gender, zip. But if we say, okay, sort it by the value, so for the second thing here, then it sorts it by the value, and we can quickly check this, and you can see here it's sorted descending by the value, so 36, 24, 2. And this is basically it. We now know which quasi-identifier to use for the splitting of the dataset, and we know we can use the zip value because they have the most unique values. So we're gonna remove this real quick, and we're gonna call now our actual function which splits the stuff and which anonymizes it. So we're gonna call so we're gonna return anonymize partition ranks. Anonymize is another function which I will define here. Define anonymize partition ranks, or partition ranks. There you go. So in ranks I have this list, or this dictionary rather, of a key value pair. So I don't need this. I only need the quasi-identifier which we use to split the database. So I'm going to say the dimension we're using is ranks, so 0, 0. So this should be zip. And now I'm sorting it by this, but well, partition is partition sort values by this by zip code in our example. Now I'm gonna find the mid value, so to know where to split it. And so I call this SI usually, so partition dim dot count, and I take the middle value. As I've covered in the previous video on the Mondrian algorithm, this is the division without like an integer division. So if I have an odd number of items, I don't end up with 7.5 or 10.5. I end up with I think 10, right? I think it just gets rid of the decimals. So we have left hand side again, as we have in the previous video. So we're going to split it into a left and a right hand side, and we're going to do this until we reach the threshold, and the threshold is k, until we reach less than k unique items. So we have left hand side is partition, so everything until this midpoint, and the right hand side is everything from this midpoint to the end. There you go. Then I have this check. I did this check differently in the previous video. I think the way I perform it here is a bit better. So I check the length from the left hand side, and I check the length of the right hand side. So if those exceed k, then I'm fine. Then I can proceed with splitting it, and I say, okay, return pt concat. So pandas concatenate the left and the right hand side, but obviously not the one I have now, but the anonymized version. So this is the recursive part of this algorithm. Ranks and anonymize right hand side ranks. So in order to make this work, you have to pass a list, and this is how you do it with these brackets here. Okay, looks good. And so this happens if we exceed the value of k. If we don't, then we just return, basically we return the partition. But before we return it, because we're finished, we have to generalize it. right? And we do this with these brackets around the minimum and the maximum value. Again, something I did in the previous video as well. So I call this, I outsource it into another function, which I call summarized partition dimension. And this function is going to define here. Well, summarized partition dim. Okay, and here I actually have to go through all the QIs. Actually, I don't need to pass dimension. I just, yeah. Well, anyway, so I don't really need the dimensions because I have the QIs here globally anyway. But anyway, so for QI and QIs, we're gonna partition is partition sort, because we only sorted by the zip code at the moment, but we also want to sort in order to generalize like the min and max value. We need to sort by each quasi-identifier. So we are now have our partition and of the equivalence class, and we need to generalize not only the equivalence class or not only the quasi-identifier we used up to this point, but we have to generalize all the values in order to make an equivalence class. So sort values by QI. I'll come back to this later, but I will just use this one. So I will use these brackets here. This is what I did in the other video as well, so that the final result is something like, when we think about age, 21 to 56 or something. So that's why I put these brackets here, and I say okay. So I need from my partition, from this quasi-identifier, I need the minimum value. This is something I learned previously, that you can do it like this. I did it a little bit more complicated the last time around. And partition QI .ilog for the maximum value, which goes like this. And closing bracket and closing quotation marks. Okay, should be good. And partition QI equals, and this is something also you can do. You can use the string we just built, and you can just multiply it with the QI size. It's really funny that you can do this like this. You can try this. It's one of the reasons why so many people use Python, because you have funny things like this. So partition. So that's it. We're almost done. We are now getting to picture. Okay, so we call this, we call the result, and we can just print it to see whether we already have a result, whether it actually works as intended. And we can run this real quick. And no mistakes. That's actually quite surprising. But yeah, okay, great. So this is our result, and we're basically finished. So I had a k equals 3, and you will find there are no equivalence classes below 3, of course, and certainly some above 3. And at first glance, everything looks quite nice. There is one thing that's a bit annoying, and that he generalized gender like this. This is something we cover probably in the next video, how to suppress it, because in this case the generalization doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because I only have 2 genders, meaning like saying 1 to 2 is just really, it's better to just suppress it in this case. But other than that, it looks really good. Of course, this is something you're always going to have if you have multidimensional Mondrian. You have overlapping age brackets, meaning like someone who's 30 could be here and could also be here. Could also be here, of course, but this is just the nature of the thing. There is no way to get around this. We can try it for different values of k. Let's say we take k equals 2. A bit more precision in the result, and there you have another thing which is a bit annoying. You see here for gender, so there is nothing to generalize here because there is only one gender here. But still, our algorithm tells it to draw these brackets around the value, around the minimum and the maximum value, which is the same, of course. So in this case, we don't want to generalize it, right? Because there is no generalization happening. So let's fix this real quick, and just take into account binary values. So the way we do this is we say here if partition, so I can actually use this. So if partition I log 0 is not equal to this one, then we go ahead and do all this, otherwise we don't. And this should fix. Yeah, there you go. So you see if it's the same, then it doesn't do anything. And if it's two different ones, then he generalizes them. So again, we will talk about how to effectively, how to more beautifully generalize this when in the next practical video, where I will show you how to do this with categorical data as well. But for now, there's actually one final thing I want to do. I want to export it to a CSV file, CSV. Let's call this anon YouTube.csv, of course. Index equals false. Okay, looks good. And so this looks basically the same which we had, of course, in the output or in the terminal, but just to have it so you can actually use it. Okay, thank you very much for watching. That was it. Another practical video on how to implement Mondrian on multidimensional data, multidimensional quasi-identifiers, of course. And well, stay tuned for the next video where I will talk about categorical data, where you have to do things a little bit differently in order to suppress them or anonymize them. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, of course, like the video, and I'll see you in the next.